call, no fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Centurion final table. We're here at SKYCITY Adelaide for our FT tonight. Currently 9 players remaining. 5 players will be paid. Our eventual champion will be taking home $32,400.
$32,000.
Rankin here is going to get straight to work. Aces right off the bat.
It's 32 to call.
David White, a very healthy stack, over $500,000 here on the ace-5 suited. Wow, tight fold, but he just gets out of the way. David White dodging multiple bullets in this hand. Chip counts on screen. We see Dean, our current chip leader. However, there's not really much in the way of short stacks on the table. Very much anyone's game. No one below 20 big blinds. That says to me that we have plenty of play ahead of us. I think the plan, to my understanding, is that we are going to aim to play down until the money. So that is 5 players left. But if we get to, I want to say it was like 2 o'clock local time, we'll probably wrap up for the day there. It's going to be very difficult for us to get through this thing tonight. So we'll expect to finish this one tomorrow afternoon. David, immediately rewarded by the poker gods for a great fold a moment ago. He's picked up the kings here. Under the gun, ace-jack offsuit for Milan. From +1, this is a little bit dicey. Good discipline fold there from Milan. Past our chip leader. All the way around to the blinds. Boosty. Good base here for Gary.
Faults. 9 faults. Faults. 3 faults. 4 faults. 5 raises 12,000.
Dale's trying to pick up a hand here. Ace 10. Rank into his immediate left with a couple of 7s.
7 faults.
Going to take this one to the streets.
8 faults.
Hold around to the blinds.
5 faults.
I suspect David might have something to say about this price of 12,000. Ace-king suited. Back-to-back-to-back hands for David getting involved here. Ace-5 suited makes a great fold. Takes one down with the kings. Now he gets a beautiful spot to put in the squeeze with the ace-king here. Ace-10 here for Dale. Got to be a little bit worried about this squeeze out of the big blind. He's got a player behind him still to act. Good discipline fold. Rankin now with the 2 7s. Real shame to not get to a flop with this. The question is David going to be taking a lot of light squeezes in this spot? Rankin and David, I suspect, have played quite a few hands together over the course of the day. I am not privy to the dynamic here.
But the guy, I
Rankin
could
is
tell
going
the
to
guy
make the
didn't
call.
mean
We're
it.
going to a
He was
flop.
like
131,000 in the middle already. This pot is already getting quite bloated.
Like, I don't know.
And the sevens are actually going to manage to flop an overpair
Oh,
here.
okay. He's not doing it. I thought he just said it.
David, 2 overs, backdoor nut flush draw, and the betting lead.
I don't think he's thought it through. But
He is going to utilise that to fire a bet.
I don't know if he was having crack or just like he just says it because like he just thought of it and just said it. Yeah.
6 calls,
41,000, nice small bet. Rankin, of course, going to stick around. 5 on the turn. Actually, not a great card for David. If he was up against any other ace high that was floating, he would now be chopping with those rather than actually beating them. Takes a glance at Rankin's stacks, thinking about maybe continuing the story.
85,000.
Gonna do it with a pretty small size here. 85,000. Essentially forcing Rankin to commit close to half his stack on the call here, threatening that river jam. This is actually a really powerful bet here. And it's going to get the job done. Great play here. David White going to pick up a nice pot there with just the ace high. Going to tie himself up with arm on. Tied for second on our leaderboard. Not far behind our table chip leader either. Just a few big lines separate the top 3. Drew's ball over in the Twitch chat, cheering for Dean. Thanks for joining us. Ladies and gents, let us know who you are cheering for. Be a huge help if you guys could drop a like on the video as well.
4 calls, 5 calls.
If you're watching over on Twitch, can't hurt to drop us a follow or subscribe on YouTube if you would. Appreciate all of you
6 range.
joining us here
30,000.
evening.
7, 8, 9 calls. 1 calls. 2 calls.
Harmon might be a little bit suspicious of this small size 3-bet. Also, maybe suspicious that he's been 3-bet after opening under the gun, but this is a very good price that he's getting.
3 calls.
He is going to give it up. Nice move there. Rankin getting straight back on the horse after making that fold with the 7s. Pick himself up a few chips.
Four folds, 5 folds. 6 folds. 7, 8 folds. Ryan raises 13,000. 1 folds. 2 folds.
That's 13.
It's 13.
Alright, Chris. I would call 12 though. What's that?
3 calls.
Why would I just show 10?
Oh, that's the min click range compared to the 2.15.
Well done, Chris. You got us with that 13.
You should try it out.
I'm going to be watching you, mate. If you don't
Shouldn't-
make it 13
I'm
once,
setting a new trend.
extra 1k, mate.
Someone else jump on go.
You tired, Chris?
Yeah, I'm always pretty tired.
He always plays side.
Yeah,
Forever.
Aren't you always sleeping?
yeah, both.
You might want to get that checked out, man.
If you sleep too long, it's bad.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's depression.
5 volts, 6 volts,
Yeah, like you sleep into that. Yeah.
7 volts.
Sometimes you get like high rate. Sometimes you like 7 hours or something. And then you feel like you get back up. And you wake up.
8 raises 15,000. 9 volts.
Pair here for Gary. He's going to
9
bump it
volts,
up.
15. 6 volts. 3 volts. Calls 15,000.
Team table chip leader going to give Gary a spin here. Ace Jack versus sixes.
4 checks.
It's been a whole lot of these nothing flops. No
That's
broadcast
20,000.
tonight.
4 calls 20. Four checks.
Oh,
8 checks.
bet call on the flop, and Dean is going to find his card on the turn. Quick check back from Gary. Love to see Dean go for some value here. Can probably go pretty big. He's trying to get
That's
called by
50,000.
full houses.
8 calls 50.
Bet a 50,000 and a quick call. I think
That's cool.
Dean might have been able to go a little bit bigger
2 small
here.
jacks.
50k is going to get the job done. Is going to get paid. Closing in on the 800,000 chip mark now.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
What are you doing? Have you not eaten yet? I thought you said you had eaten. But no reward. The OTR across the road, the convenience store. Alright.
See you, mate.
See you, mate. That does not surprise me. How's the main going? Nice.
Yeah, I've had a lot of big games there.
6 volts.
I've watched it as playing tomorrow.
7 volts. 8 volts.
Yeah.
1 raises 12,000. 2 volts. 3 volts. 4 volts.
Hearts versus Hearts going to battle here.
12.
David's King Queen suited is out in the lead for the moment. Neither player connecting with the flop. Dale does pick up a gut shot here.
And that's 12,000.
Dave going to continue.
I've like 100k and falling towards me in cash.
And still.
Wouldn't shock me to see a small check raise come out from Dale here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that's just
He is going to fold. Not going to get too fancy in this spot. We saw him make a nice small check raise in a spot earlier with worse than a gut shot. So I'm not going to try the same move this time.
Seven volts. 8 ounces only. 9 folds.
Gary going to go ahead and just jam it in here. It's for 19 big blinds from +1. Ace Jack suited here for
130.
Milan.
130,000.
Actually, probably deduce that the spot is just maybe not quite worth the risk.
Two folds, 3 folds, 4 folds, 5 folds.
Huge fold there from Milan, and this does a pretty good job of highlighting the issues with this 19 big blind jam. If we're folding out Ace Jack, it's going to be pretty tough to get called by anything we actually want the money to go in against. And I promise you, we're not going to get Ace King to fold. King going to pass that one up as well.
What did you pay Milan?
Gary does take the pot down here. He might have missed an opportunity to play a pot against a hand that he dominates in Ace Jack.
Did you fold 9s?
Anyone putting a big river bet? I would not have folded boys.
I'm calling time. As soon as if that's me, I'm calling time.
I had the hand, but you had to get it wrong.
AJ. Pretty easy fold.
I was just soaking up my TV time.
This is Hollywooding.
Eight folds. 9 raises, 13,000. 1 folds, 2 folds, 3 folds. 1 folds, 5 folds, 13 score.
Opportunity here for Rankin.
6 raises, 38,000.
38k, just shy of 3 times the open. A little bit on the smaller side. Chris does have kind of hand that likes to play in position. $25,000 more. He's got 400k to work with. We are off to a flop, 88 in the middle. Not a flop either player is going to particularly love. Rankin obviously going to be unhappy about seeing the ace here. Chris does catch the queen, which might be just enough for him to get into trouble, but that ace on board, I wouldn't imagine he's able to lose too much more than maybe just this C-bet. Do see a call. 4 on the turn. Doesn't change anything. Would like to see Rankin slow down here, and he does. Bet on the turn is probably just forcing the worst hands to fold and the better hands to call. Generally, any bet that forces our opponent to make the right decision is not one that you want to make. 9 of hearts on the river. Good chance this just goes check-check. Rankin going to go for a little bit of a block bet on the river here. This may be the max that he's able to get, and he is going to get it. Nice little extra value bet there for Rankin on the river. Squeezed an extra 4 big blinds out of his opponent. He's going to get himself back up to 300,000 chips now.
Wait, it'll be on the screen.
That's a patience ring.
Yeah, you didn't see the forward there, boys. It was 5-5-3.
Oh shit. Never mind.
That was a different air. Was it? That's not, this is not the same air.
No, it's different.
Oh, I thought this was the same. No.
Nine raises 13,000. 1 folds. 13 to call. 2 folds. 3 folds. 4 folds. 1. Small blind. 3. Six raises. 13,000. 7 folds. 8 folds. 5 folds 13. 9 chips.
Action flop here.
17,000.
Chris picks up middle pair plus the flush draw after defending the big blind. Rankin has really expanded his range a little bit here in the cutoff. Queen 5 offsuit. He has been rewarded with top pair, but equities are basically a flip going into the turn. Chris likely contemplating a check raise here. The only thing he's not thinking about is fold. Jack on the turn, not going to improve other player's hand, does bring in an open ender. Check, check. Yeah, Chris has been able to realise his equity here for the absolute minimum. Well, he's bricked his equity, but he's been able to see both turn and river for a pretty low price. Definitely could have lost a lot more on that hand. Saying that, Rankin is able to pick up a nice pot, even with the Queen 5.
Yung Mila public recording in the turn.
Didn't call it. Next one's for it. Just keep it 3-6 this one. We'll keep it 3-6 this one.
Sure.
Two folds, 3 folds, 4 raises 12,000.
So chip leader going to get amongst the action here.
All in.
7 folds.
That barrel
It
can
costs
coding.
12,000.
Any overpair.
Round 2, Gary on the button. He's going to make the call here with the ace jack. Chris in the small blind. Another opportunity to get involved here. This time the premium hand. Squeeze is certainly incoming. What size does he choose?
Line raises 53,000. 1 folds. 1 folds. It's 53 to call.
Oh boy. This might be a bit of a misstep from Gary. Made an incorrect read on his opponent here. He's put the rest of the chips in. He's going to get the bad news. He is dominated. He has to catch an ace, and not all of them alive. Chris in great shape to pick up a 250,000 chip pot here. He's flopped the set. Manages to fade the gut shot, and we will farewell Gary in 9th place. GG. 8 players remaining now. 3 to go. Till we are in the money.
Yeah, it was 8. That was 4-8. Lights are 4-8 now.
It was Edgar. It's another South Australian. Yeah, look at this.
I think Randy's got King Queen O.
See, you actually clowned it. Clowns.
It's the last one you did for
This is the max clown.
4 folds, 5 folds. 6 folds.
And next time I will.
7 folds.
Next time I'll bet aces.
That's
True. I'll run into it.
One cost 80,000. Two raises 30,000.
Daniel joins us in the Facebook chat all the way from WA. West Australia's pretty well represented on this Centurion final table, including our current chip leader, Dean Cox.
Four folds, 5 folds, 6 folds. 7 folds. 9 folds.
David's picked up more than his fair share of premium hands, from what I've seen.
raises
It's not stopped him
16,000.
from picking up another one here on the button. Aces.
Two faults.
Milan has nothing to contend with. Over to Armand. 10-5 offsuit. May well just hit the muck. And it does. Aces, but no action for David.
I have a new dealer. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you, man. See 5 fold. See 6 fold. See 7 fold. See 9 fold. See 1 fold. See 2 rats. 16,000. See 3 cool.
Fortunately for Armani, elect not to go for the 3-bet here. Just going to flat this one from the small blind and take it post. Blind would have loved a little bit of extra action pre-flop.
See 3 check.
Maybe he'll be a little bit
Check.
relieved after seeing this ace-high flop. Armand had a hand he could get himself into trouble with, but he's managed to find his card. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bet the kings here.
See 3 cool. See 4 raise. 36,000.
This is spicy. This is very spicy. Dean can very credibly represent a 6. I don't think he expects to be up against
See 2 fold.
a hand as strong as ace-jack in the small blind. But this raise certainly carries some weight with it. I do like Dean's hand selection here as well.
See 3 cool.
Picked a hand with 2 different backdoor draws. 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. Queen on the turn. Armand's kicker no longer plays. At this point, Dean's got to have a pretty good idea he's up against at least an ace. Question is, does he want to commit to trying to make that fold? One more really big barrel might even get the job done immediately.
60,000.
Bet of 60,000. I don't know if this is big enough. 60 Armand can probably pretty comfortably just make the call with the ace. Hope for the check river. If he can call with ace-jack, he can call with any ace. That queen being on board makes the kicker irrelevant. He's just got to hope that this downsize looks suspicious enough, looks milky enough. But I think it's just too cheap. Armon does make the call. This is going to take one more barrel. The problem that Dean has here is that Armon can have a 6. And now it's going to be really, really difficult to represent.
Recheck.
You need to tell him that you have specifically the 6 of hearts. And it's possible. It's also possible for Armon to have it. Really tough to fire the bet big enough to ever think about getting an ace to fold. Dean really giving this some thought.
C4 check.
He does decide to just give it up. And Armon will take down a nice pot there. Just a small misstep on that turn sizing from Dean. Can certainly get behind the flop check
No,
raise.
exactly. I was literally like, I have to go all in for up to 6 here. And I just don't think you fold. Please. Yep,
Oh, yeah. C6 fold. You should have 3-bet last and had 8 in it. 12. C7 raise 12,000. Sorry, 16. Right, 16. 16,000.
No.
C9 fold, 0 fold.
David going to open this one up.
64.
I had 8 diamonds.
Yeah. C3 fold. C4 fold.
All the way around to the blinds. And it's going to get through there as well. Easy pick up for David.
If I go all in, 200%, you just tank and fold up. Yeah, exactly.
Elimination.
No.
C7 fold. C9 fold. That's C1 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 fold.
Another premium hand. Dale's turn this time.
5 cool.
Does just have the one opponent. He's going to set the trap. Limp in. Rankin has been pretty aggressive pre-flop, but this time he is going to check it back. And once again, we see a player with kings having to deal with an ace-high flop. Now this one, Dale probably feel a little less concerned about that ace, given that Rankin so quickly checked back. Small bet, and he will just take that one down immediately.
Two fold. Suit three fold. Suit four fold. Suit five fold. Suit six is all in.
Open jam here. 17 effective from Rankin. Perfectly fine open jam.
That's one of my mates.
He's just saying that because
Yeah, that's one of my friends.
Suit one fold. Suit two fold.
Couple of 10s here for Amon.
Suit three raise 16,000. Suit four fold. Suit five fold. Here we go. Suit six fold.
Also going to get around to the blinds.
Just remember, you open the ace deuce suit after
Queen Jack for David will hit the muck out of the small blind. King 7 offsuit for Chris. Looks like he's going to go for a defend here. Off to a flop we go. Amon in pretty good shape. I do believe we saw at least one, maybe two kings
Suit nine check.
folded. Yeah, just the one out remaining for Chris. Not that he's aware of that.
Floating.
Reasonably likely this just goes bet fold, but Amon's going to play this one a little bit slowly. After the turn we go. That is a pretty good turn card here for Chris. He does pick up the open ender now to go along with his king. It's just sextupled his outs. So there's a good chance we see a pro bet on the turn here with this open ender. Expect to see a bunch of ace high type hands checking back from Amon. Put a lot of pressure on a lot of those holdings with a bet on the turn here.
Suit nine bets 28,000.
Yeah, I like this bet from Chris. Having the 7 of hearts is not super significant compared to any other 7, but there is a third heart that completes the river. We'll just give him a slight
Suit three cool.
boost in expected value if he decides that he wants to turn that into a bluff. 8 on the river. This is certainly a card that Chris can represent. Again, when betting the turn, expecting to put a lot of pressure on ace high type hands for the most part. Chris could certainly be doing that with a hand like a queen or a hand like an 8, as well as obviously some bluffs. Second barrel here certainly makes a lot of sense. Whether it would have worked is very difficult to say. Chris does elect to give it up. Now, Amon perhaps contemplating whether his hand is good enough to go for value here. A queen very likely will bet the river. An 8 very likely will bet the river. Amon decides, can't think of enough that will call him. So he's just going to go ahead, play it safe, check it back. And he will scoop the pot at showdown.
fold. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold. C7 fold. C1 raise 24,000.
Tagging in on my own.
David with another premium hand here.
C1 raise 80,000.
2 kings once again.
Fold.
Not able to get a whole lot of action on this one, but at least he's able to pick up that raise from Chris.
They're not lying. They're not.
Small blankers. C3 raise 16,000. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold. C7 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold.
One with a very defendable hand in the big blind here, even against the under the gun open. Armon does, however, have his opponent dominated. Ace high still out ahead. Milan does pick up a gut shot as well as a backdoor flush draw. Imagine we'll see Armon checking this one back. Not a whole lot going for this ace-9 suited here. Only thing working in Armon's favour here is the fact that he has opened from under the gun.
17,000.
He is representing a pretty strong range. He decides he's going to go ahead and rep it.
C2 call.
Milan is going to make the call here. No hearts on the turn. Milan just left with jack high. Still has that gut shot.
C3 check.
Eight of spades, no help. Armon does have the check
C2
mark.
check. C3 check.
And ace high will win. Might have been a bit of a missed opportunity for Milan here to take a stab. Might have the worst hand that he ever gets to this this spot with. Just about. If we're going to be making those calls on the flop, then probably need to be firing some rivers when we do brick it out.
Good luck. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 raise 16,000. C7 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold. That's fine, yeah. C3 fold.
Peter in the Facebook chat asking, day 3 out the window. No, we will still be going to a day 3. We've got one player below 20 bigs, and it's getting to, I want to say it's like nearly 11:30 local time. So yeah, no chance this actually finishes tonight. We're going to try and play down to the money, but if we're still here in a couple of hours, we'll just send the guys back to bed. But yeah, we'll certainly be finishing tomorrow.
C5 fold, C6 fold, C7 fold, C9 fold. It looks really like C2 fold.
For me to come at you guys.
C3 fold.
I want to get blocked. I get blocked close to fold. Small baseball.
Nickbo over in the YouTube chat. Yeah, five players paid today. Our mean cash is worth just a touch under $6,500. So pretty significant mean cash.
Yeah.
And our grand prize, $32,400.
C6 fold. C7 fold.
Tight fold from Rankin there with the ace-4 suited. We've seen him very much speculate. There's been a lot of loose opens that we've seen, so interesting to see him fold. Nice suited ace under the gun there.
So he bluffs next time as well. I'm pumping him up.
Look at you trying to apologise to quality.
C3 raise 16,000.
I'm going to go for the steal here from the button. I'm on currently the man with the stack, over 800,000.
All in. Clubs all in.
Queen Jack suited, just below 20 bigs for Dale. He's going to pull the trigger and he's going to scoop the pot. Knows how wide his opponent can be opening and he's going to pounce on it. Nice pick up there. Dean, who we've gotten pretty accustomed to seeing at the top of the leaderboard, has slipped down to 3rd place. It's a pretty comfortable stack at the moment.
I was going to continue, yeah, 6 all like yeah, I was not fucking happy. I'm like, well, I can't like. I was even like, oh, okay, can I do anything to get you off the flush draw if you have it? But then I'm like, Yeah, I know.
7 folds.
Yeah, but what? That doesn't make sense for anything, right?
1 folds.
I mean, none of my A6 is doing checkers. Yeah, if I check back and it's that's what I was like. That's
now
why I
you look
thought.
like Daniel for the next.
Like cost 8,000.
Hopefully, it's just the Jack 10 of diamonds in the shop, not the King 10.
Yeah, sure.
5 checks.
How tilted would you be? Although you probably.
Another blind on blind battle here.
Bets
Dale
12,000.
catches the open ender.
I think like.
Does check it this time though. Ranking with just 9 high is going to take a stab at this one.
5 folds 12.
Five on the turn. Changes nothing. Dale ahead and with the open ender here.
Bets 12,000.
Brick River. Rankin going to go for the quarter pot size bet here. Diamonds have bricked out as well. Maybe a factor. I'm pretty confident when I say that this is not a Hollywood. Dale is genuinely considering calling Queen High here. He is going to give it up. Nice bet there, Rankin going to take that one down. Sees an opportunity.
One raise 16,000.
David going to play a hand that's not a premium this time, but it is a pair.
4 folds. 5 folds. 16 call. 6 calls 16,000.
Fold it around. Rankin with the ace jack does make the call in the small blind. David getting a really good price with the queen 9 here.
7 calls 16.
Certainly a tempting one to flick in the extra one big blind, and he will do so. To a flop 3 ways.
6 checks.
8, 5, 4. No connection from anyone. David still out in front with the 6s and does pick up a gut shot as well. Nothing like a good plan B.
4 checks. 6 checks. 7 checks. 1 checks.
Running jacks, Rankin improves in a big way.
6 bets 35k.
Wasn't able to induce a bet on the turn, so he's just going to go ahead and bet his hand on the river.
7 folds. 35,000.
David White may just be strong enough to look this up as well. No one's really shown any interest in this pot so far.
1 calls 35.
Rankin doing a great job at these showdowns. He's getting paid when he has it, and he's getting the folds when he doesn't. Fantastic showing, and you can see that reflected in his stack, closing in on about $500,000 now.
I did limp kings. Yeah. I don't know what you have.
It's just nothing. Maybe 554 high. Oh, I think maybe one time I went jam improved from my link. Maybe.
Maybe that one?
Yeah, maybe.
You should have.
It's 8.
Like something else.
Trust your instinct.
Find a way. The fifth queen will come in and will be a voice.
1 false, 2 false,
Yeah, fifth queen will be right. Lloyd.
3 false.
Ace Queen suited for Dean. His opportunity to start closing the gap between him and the new chip leaders.
5 false.
Get the momentum going back in the right direction. Round 2 the blinds. Chris is certainly not going to be folding.
9 false, 16. No checks. 4 checks.
Wow, interesting check here. Dean decides to just play the nut flush draw 2 over slowly. Chris with the bottom pair gut shot. He's going to check a second time here. Dean not going to be checking this anymore.
20,000.
He now has a strong value hand with a nut flush draw. 20k, and Chris probably stick around given that he has that draw to go along with his bottom pair.
False 20.
We are off to the river. 10 of spades, not a card that either player really enjoys seeing. Make it pretty difficult for Dean to value at the river.
Checks. Four bets, 35,000.
35.
Yes.
Stone cold value bet here from Dean.
When the
Not scared of the 4 to a straight. He's just going to go for it.
yeah, there's a Jack Stone AP on
Does
there.
get
It
the
was
fold. That will move him into second place.
Maybe it's like 2 levels, so it was like 80 minutes before it came out. But then like 2 hands later, the other table like really close to us had like 2 4 clubs. So it was like really obviously someone that switched.
So mine's been exposed accidental then.
Well, I know. I reckon. Like, cause you know how sometimes they would have all the decks like thing. I reckon someone grabbed the 4 of clubs and the 4 of hearts and switched them. So that deck had 2 4 of clubs, and this deck had 2. Yeah. I think they're just trolling. Yeah. Edgar, were you ever contemplating when you got to write your name in, just writing Voldemort?
No, didn't cross my mind.
Didn't cross your mind?
Do you think about ZZ Top, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fond of it as a fancy dress costume as ZZ Top. I just don't know what the actual guys' dudes' names are, so it's not
16,000.
King 10 offsuit.
do a really shitty rendition of the legs, you know?
Rankin putting his foot back on the gas.
Would be nice.
Holds round
Should
2
do it
arm,
if you win the
7.
top.
Come back for the
Yeah.
photo and dress up
Back with
like a like furry guitar, big leopard print jacket,
that'd be pretty awesome.
cowboy hat.
Yeah, there's more.
How many kings is it? Is that what you just said?
Perhaps contemplating
And ace and ace king.
3-bet here. Looks like he does decide on just a call.
Not making heaps out of it.
Yeah. Don't complain too hard.
Checks.
Deuce, nothing for anyone. Ace high is still out in front.
That's 13,000.
C-bet will quickly get the job done. Payouts there on screen. 32 and 4 for the winner.
He won that.
The winner will, of course, also earn themselves entry into the 100k Invitational.
Raises 16,000.
Looks like Milan was contemplating a 3-bet that last hand with the A7. He's probably got a couple even better reasons to 3-bet this spot with the 9s. See if he pulls the trigger or if he decides to just call it here as well. Bumps it to 56.
56 to 4.
David here with the 10-8 suited. A pretty good idea that his hand is not ahead, but it's a very playable hand. He is in position. He's getting 2 to 1, but it's just not quite good enough. Milan's going to take that one down.
Yes, no, that's right. I have too many check raises already with that. Well, like, obviously now would work.
Just a couple of players at the moment hovering 20 big blinds or less.
It was like the nudge when he just flooded ace jack.
Yeah, same one. I was like, yeah, he's like flop an ace. Realised his equity in
Five folds. 6 raises. 16,000.
Travels with giggles over in the YouTube chat. Says, can't wait to be on the stream in August. I hope I'm right there with you. August is going to be massive. It's of course referencing the APL million.
Calls
Be a
16,000.
whole lot of opportunities to win some mammoth prizes during that series. If you guys haven't already checked out the info on that, make sure to check out the schedule. You can find that at the Australian Poker League Facebook page or on the website.
4. Calls 16. Four checks.
Jack 7-4, no help to anyone.
6 bets, 21,000.
Rankin loves a continuation bet. It is into 2 players here. He's fortunate enough that he is up against 2 air balls.
4 faults. Perfect. Six faults. 7 faults. 9 faults. 1 fault. Two raises 16,000. 3 faults.
The line's turn to open it up. We'll see a speculative call in the small blind here from Dean. On the looser side. Gonna allow Dale to come in. Getting a great price here in the big blind as well. Dale actually with the best hand.
4 checks.
And Dean is going to take the lead here. He was dominated going into the flop, but he has found his live card.
Two bets 20,000. Four raises 55,000. 5 faults.
Milan's C-bet is going to be immediately pounced on. Dean with the top pair going to put some pressure on. Check raise will get the job done. Dean back over the 700k mark, closing that gap, looking to reclaim the chip lead.
Seven faults, 9 faults. 1 fault. 2 faults. 3 faults. 4 faults. 5 faults,
Kings are
8,000.
down.
Check.
Round 2, the blinds. Dale versus Rankin once again. These guys have had quite a few blind versus blind battles. Certainly each had their turn to scoop a pot. Dale with queen high and a gut shot is going to take a stab. Just 7 high for Rankin and he will let it go. Thomas joins us in the Facebook chat cheering for Dean. Thanks for joining us, Thomas. King 4 on the button for Dale.
5 raises 16,000.
He is going to go ahead and go for the steal. I reckon I'm going to make a tight fold there in the small blind. David, 9-5 offsuit. Starting the hand pretty short. Certainly some arguments for calling this and going to a flop, but you're going to have to look to be check raising and getting your stack in on a pretty wide variety of boards. If you're not feeling prepared to do that, it's better to just let this go pre. I don't think there's too much issue in doing exactly that. That's what David does.
Raises 16,000.
2 fours for David White. Under the gun here. He is going to play it. Bumps it to 16. King 9 suited for Dean.
4 raises 45,000.
He's going to put the 3-bet in. Dangerous 3-betting against an under the gun opener. He's correctly picked that David is near the bottom of his range. Good chance that this 3-bet just gets through. Pending Chris picking up a big hand in the big blind, but he will not. Back over to David with the 4s. 30,000 more to call. The question is just, does he think he's getting the odds to take this set mining? The answer may be yes. Now off to a flop here. Dean very likely to win on any flop that does not contain a 4. This is one of the cleaner ones for David's holding. So there's a good chance that we see the continuation bet here from Dean. If he doesn't get it done right away, there's a lot of turns that he can comfortably double barrel as well. Not to mention he can just catch a pair to take the lead.
All bets 22,000.
Pocket jacks now for Milan under the gun. Centurion, he will make the fold. King Jack for David. He would have loved to have put the chips in with this hand, but wants the under the gun show some interest. King Jack offsuit. certainly shrinks. Milan will take this one down pre-flop.
Small blind. Okay. Four raises 16,000. Five raises.
King, Queen, 14. He's going to open it up. Dale going to pick up the Ace King suited to his immediate left. Comes to 45k. Now this is a pretty strong looking 3-bet. +2 off just over 20 bigs against +1. And the opener is one of the 2 chip leaders at the table. Wouldn't expect Dale to be messing around here very often at all. Dean thinks the same, and he's going to let the King Queen go.
Four folds. One fold. Seven folds.
Deuces hit the mark there from Round King this time. Round 2, David on the button. Nothing very impressive. Jack 2 offsuit for Milan. You get to play a lot of hands from the small blind, but this one's probably better suited, just saving the 4k and putting the hand in the mark.
Two folds, 8,000.
Well, it's going to have a stab for just the half a big blind more. King 2 offsuit for our chip leader.
Three raises 28,000. Two folds.
He's going to add the pressure, take it down. I think he showed a deuce there.
I got a pair.
Well, with King 4 up on the button.
I got a pair. That's you.
All right, guys, we are going to be taking a 15-minute break here.
He's got 2 as well.
Little breather.
Yeah.
Stretch your legs, grab some water, grab a snack. Don't go too far. I'll talk to you guys in about 15 minutes.
We're playing 2 more hours. We're playing 2 more hours.
He's playing 1 more hour,
Okay.
and then
So either 1 or 2.
yeah, it's either 1 or 2, but we're definitely playing 1 more level this next hour.
And you have to wait.
What determines whether we play longer than an hour?
Yeah, that's why we're going to reassess a bit later after this level. We come back, see where we are.
How about we just play until we get in the money? That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Blind starting back 5 and 10 with a 10 ante. You can just shuffle up and deal. I can play the lane.
C5 fold, C6 fold, C7 fold, C9 fold.
Alright, ladies and gents, we are back in action. As you guys might have just heard, the plan is we are going to play up this level. And basically we're going to see where we're at. Recess at the end of this level. So we've got at least 1 more hour in us. Depending on how things are looking, we might go for 1 more level after that. So we've got 1 hour or 2 hours left to go. If somehow we find ourselves in the money this hour, I imagine we'll probably wrap it up there. Off to a flop here. King high for both players. Currently the 10 kicker is in the lead. Milan does have a backdoor diamond draw to go along with his 9.
What's that? That's binding? That's a win, right? That's binding, a win.
How do we even play this hand?
Milan does pick up an open-ender. With the 8 on the turn, it also means it is pretty hard for the counterfeit to come into play. And it will not. Dean's 10 kicker is going to seal the deal here. And we'll get him over 800,000 in chips now. Both him and Armon cleared that 800k mark. With David and Rankin sitting on the $500,000. Chris and Milan, 300 each. And with the blinds ticking up to 510, Dale sitting on just over 20 bigs. Our current table short stack, David Lloyd dropping just below 10 bigs now.
C6 fold. C7 fold. C9 fold. C1 raise 20,000. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 fold. C5 fold. Just move that boat across.
Give me action. Huh? You've got 2 big cards. You can give me action.
Kingsman suited.
C7's all out. C9 fold.
David Lloyd, our short stack, has found a hand under the gun. Ace Queen.
C2 fold.
He's going to put it in. Milan has to make the disappointing fold with the Jack 10 suited. Over to Dean now. Ace 10. This is against an under the gun jam, but it is only for 8 bigs. This Ace 10 certainly could get called here.
Yep. 84.
He is going to make the call.
C4 call. C5 fold. better than 2-7 offsuit.
Couple of bits of cheese in the blinds are going to hit the muck. Dean will see the bad news. He has got it in dominated. David can hold here. He's almost back to 20 bigs. Biding his time so patiently this final table. Just not had any opportunities whatsoever. He's finally found one. Can he hold? It's not a good start. Dean's able to find the 10 on the flop. 5 is no help. And the 3 will seal the deal. Very unfortunate run on this FT for Dave and Lloyd. Just really no chances to make anything happen. He finally gets it in good. And Dean continues the sun run. Finds the top 2. And that is going to propel him back into the chip lead.
Yeah.
2 players to go until we are in the money. 7 remaining here in the Centurion at the SKYCITY
Some good
Casino
tournaments, then we can all
here in
go.
Adelaide.
Get some sleep. Think about it.
You trying to get a bubble deal again?
Yeah, bubble deal.
You're always trying to do this.
Always.
See 1 fold. See 2 fold. See 3 fold. See 4 fold.
Saw Dale make a couple of light opens on buttons for the course of this broadcast, even off the mid-sized stack. This time he's picked up the ace-9 suited. He's just going to go ahead and put the chips in, no messing around. He'll take that down, get himself back over the 20 big blind mark. Dale is currently the shortest stack at the table, but with no one below 20 bigs, this really still is anyone's game.
See 2 fold. See 3 fold. See 4 fold. See 5 fold. See 6 raise 20,000.
All the way round to ranking on the button here. 10-8 off suit. Try and steal himself some blinds and antes. King Jack here for Chris. I think he might have something to say about that.
Seat 9 raise 55,000. Seat 1 fold.
There's going to be a 3-bet here from Chris. Good chance he just gets this one through. 10-8 off suit for ranking. He does have position. He does have a pretty unimpressive hand.
Seat 6 fold. C3 raise 20,000. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold. C9 fold.
Dale having to fold a pretty nice looking hand there in the Queen 10 suited, but against the under the gun open. 20 bigs, it is pretty difficult. And he is perhaps going to get saved a little bit here.
C1 fold.
Go around to David, we see him make the fold with the Jack 10, and Milan's going to look down at a couple of aces here in the big blind. 28 bigs to start the hand. A 3-bet here is going to look unbelievably strong. See what he decides to do here. This amount of thought for a big blind defender is maybe a little bit too much.
C2 raise 75,000.
I would love to call and play 10-9 suited in position, but this 3-bet just screams strength. It's less than 30 big blinds effective. 10-9 suited starts feeling a whole lot less useful when you don't have the stack behind to utilize. That one is going to make the fold.
C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold.
One's turn to pick up a nice hand. Ace Queen in the big blind. Is he going to be facing just a limp? Looks like that's the case. It's worth noting, a little bit of game flow talk here. Just before the break, Milan limped in from the small blind with the Jack 2 offsuit. Armon with the King 2 put in the raise, got it through and showed the deuce. Could certainly play into Milan's mind here, facing this raise with the 8-6 suited. Off to a flop we go. Not that this call with the 8-6 is unreasonable by any stretch. Very playable hand, blind versus blind.
C2 check.
And Milan is going to improve to the best hand here, but it is a very vulnerable bottom pair. Also, probably a very bluffable pair on a board like this.
C3 bet 20,000. C2 cool. C2 check.
Pretty good turn card here for Milan. Picking up that flush draw. Might be just what he needs to call a second barrel if it is to come through.
C3 check.
I'm just going to check the ace-queen back, trying to realise his equity, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Finds the second pair on the river. With just a pair of eights here. He is not going to like that river card whatsoever. Flush draws get there. Obviously plenty of ace X type hands. There's going to be ace queen, ace jack both get there. Queen jack finds its way. Do see a quick check back from Armon and he will take it down.
C5 fold. C6 raise 20,000. C9 fold. C1 fold.
Rankin loosening it up once again.
C2 fold.
I've been trying to put together some kind of pattern as to when he wants to be loose and when he wants to be tight, and I am going to just give up on that at this point. I've tried my best. I cannot work out the puzzle. If any of you guys have any idea, please let me know in the chat. As erratic as his playstyle has been, it's been very successful, especially when it comes to his river bet efficiency. He's been getting paid off when he's been value betting and getting the bluffs through at a very, very high frequency.
C6 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 call. C5 check.
Blind on blind action here from Team WA.
C4 bet 10k. Turn, yeah.
Dean, 2 undercards, but he has picked up a gut shot. Okay, with the second pair. We'll make the call. 50k in the middle now. Ace repeats, 2 flush draws on board.
C4 check.
If Dean was going to fire again, he would basically just be trying to make Dale fold. High card floats. I don't know how many of those Dale would be likely to actually have against the chip leader, so Dean is just going to slow it down. I'm going to fire a small bet out here. Not a small bet, a half pot size bet to try and deny some equity. We get a little bit of value for his second pair. He would be pretty content to just take this one down, I think.
C4 raise 60,000.
Oh boy. Dean has other ideas. He's going to put in the check raise here with just the 5 high. Dale immediately punished for going for the thin bet here. Nice small size here from Dean as well. Setting up for a perfect river jam.
C5 as well.
Whoa, Dale knows exactly what's up. Pulls the trigger on the all-in, takes that pot down, and he will successfully deny any equity. Play felt like a statement there from Dale. He will not allow the chip leaders to push him around.
C9 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 raise 20,000. C5 fold. C6 fold.
I thought that's what you were saying we were going to do earlier.
Yeah. Every time I say it,
Listen to something. gotta believe, you know. Makes no sense. He just goes, okay, cool, I'll go for the double. Check, and makes more money.
C1 fold. C2 fold. C3 fold. Settle down, guys. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 raise, 25,000. C1 fold.
Easy raise and take it there for Rankin.
You ready for your mistake on camera? Ready? Ready?
C2 fold. C3 fold. C4 raise, 20,000.
Suited ace here for Dean.
C6 fold. C9 fold.
Send it around to the blinds and he will send it all the way through. BPIP stats there showing that Rankin has been extremely active, playing over a third of the hands that he's been dealt on our broadcast.
C3 fold. C4 raise, 20,000. C5 fold. C6 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold. C9 fold. C1 raise, 20,000.
David going to go for a steal here again on the button. It's not long ago that he went for this play and got 3-bet by Milan. As Milan picked up those 9s. Another opportunity here.
C2 raise, 75,000.
Once again, he will put in the 3-bet.
2 out.
No real reason to get involved. I think once it gets back to David, he'll be pretty content to let this one go as well.
C1 fold.
Maybe getting a little suspicious of these 3-bets, but with Jack 7 offsuit, there's not much you can do. We'll find out once that stream comes live in 20 minutes. Did just run into it.
Not that hard. Apparently.
C5 fold.
6 raise 20,000. Sit 7. Sit 9 fold. Sit 1 fold.
Rankin once again loosening it right up. Ace-6 offsuit early position.
Sit 3 fold. Sit 4 fold.
Around 2 of the blinds, and he's going to get it through once again. The hand has begun.
C6
Give
fold.
the graphics a moment.
Oh no, I can't.
Sit 9 raise 21,000. Sit 1 fold. Yeah. Hang on, guys. If you've still got cards, can you just take them off of the box and put them back on? Take them off. And then 9, 21, 1, 2, 3, 4. C4 fold. C5 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold.
Ace Jack suited here for Armon.
C3 raise 20,000. C4 fold.
Round 2 of the blinds. Not much to write home about in these holdings. I'd say the Ace Jack just gets it through pretty comfortably.
C6 fold. C1 fold. C2 fold. C3 raise 20,000. C4 fold. C5 fold. C6 fold.
Just not going to let this one get all the way through. Off to a flop. Armon ahead with the King 7 of Hearts. Chris very live. Queen Jack of Clubs.
C9 check.
Got another whole lot of nothing flop here. Armon, a couple of backdoors with his
C3 bets
King 7
15,000.
suited, and he is ahead with King High. Chris 2 overs to the board. Backdoor clubs. Does he want to continue here?
C9 cool.
We are off to the turn, and it is a pretty good turn card for Armon's hand. Typically going to be a better card for the big blind, but in this case, Armon is all over that 5 of hearts. Chris does check this again. I imagine that's the end of the hand.
No, that's
So
20,000.
he's going to find the turn donk here. Unfortunately for him, he is up against an absolute monster of a draw.
C3 call.
This is not the out Armin was expecting, but it is an out that he will certainly take. King on the river. Chris has gotten here with queen higher after donking the turn. Problem that he faces is if he fires a big bet, it's not really representing anything. If he fires a small bet to represent that he's going thin with something like a pair of sixes, he's definitely going to get snapped by the king. In fact, anything he does will get snapped by the king. It feels pretty bad calling the flop with this hand, firing that turn donk lead and then giving up the river.
Seat 9's all done.
Oh boy. That is a big bet. Now look, I'm not sure what Chris is really
268
representing
total.
here.
268.
But I would not expect sitting in Armon's shoes for Chris to fire an overbet jam in here. 2 off the money, 6.5 came in cash. In saying that, I don't think Chris expects Armon to actually be as strong as a king. Really brutal spot here. The question is just what value hands would Chris actually do this with? If he was going to try and get all the money in with a 3, he's probably going to either check raise the flop or pick a bigger size on the turn. If he's turned a straight, he's probably going to lead for a bigger size. Armon is very suspicious here.
C3 call.
Oh, but he's going to lay it down. Chris with the huge move. Overbet jams the river. And he is going to take down that pot. Now that is a fancy play, ladies and gents. 2 off the money. 6.5k min cash.
That's not nice.
He pulls the trigger and he gets the job done.
Where's the button?
And flop on left hand. Yeah, I just think about it, like just holding flip. Flop, I got chip 3. We'll go back kicker. Or 3.
You've been great struggling.
2 faults.
Well, how long are we doing this shot?
3 raises 20,000. 4 faults.
What a play we just witnessed. Jeez. Were you guys watching that?
5 calls 20,000.
Overbet jams the river as a bluff, queen high,
4 faults.
and gets the top pair to fold.
260, I think. 3 red.
Three checks. One checks. Two checks.
I'm getting involved a little light here. +1 with the ace-8. Dale goes for the slow play with the jacks. He's rewarded immediately on the flop. Goes for the slow play on the turn as well, checking it back. Not able to get any value on the river.
Big blind.
He has that enough.
That would have been really fun.
2 raises 20,000. 4 calls.
King 6 suited for Armon under the gun.
1 fault.
Looks like that one's getting all the way through. One going to give up that 10-5.
Can't say how big my phone was.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to go ahead and limp once again into Armon's big blind. Queen 9 offsuit. Not a hand that Armon really wants to raise. Absolute dream flop for the ace-6 of spades here. I mean, pretty tough for him to extract any value out of the hand here.
So that's 15,000.
I'm going to try and get some value on the turn. Pretty good shot, just gets through.
3 fault.
Armon is going to let that one go.
Five folds, 6 folds, 9 folds, 1 fold. Two raises to 20,000.
Well, I'm going to look for back-to-back here, opening up the button with the Queen Jack. Ace for Dean in the big blind. I'd be giving this one up so easily. Nine, 5, 5. No connection for either player. Ace high still ahead for Dean. He's likely going to have to face a continuation bet.
That's 20,000. 4 folds, 20,000. Four checks.
Then picking up a gut shot on the turn. 8 of spades, so that backdoor spades does come in. Dean with the ace of spades. He feels he has enough showdown value that he doesn't need to bluff it, so he's going to check it over once more to Milan. Milan probably with no showdown value at all. Contemplating whether he should go ahead and bluff this. Probably prefer to have a spade in his hand if he was going to do it, but the fact he doesn't have any clubs is a benefit. You're trying to get his opponent to fold something like a king-high flush draw. Wow, Dean's going to snap it with the ace-high spade blocker, and he is going to take that one down. That will propel him into the chip lead once again. And for the first time, he has a chip lead with a real gap between him and the rest of the field. Now just a quick update, ladies and gents. We are going to be bagging up at the end of this level. We've probably got 20 minutes or so left until that happens. So, not a whole lot longer tonight. Just a little bit further. We'll muscle through. And then we will wrap up, and these guys will come back, play down to the money and down to a winner tomorrow. I'll be back to bring you guys all the coverage.
6 raises, 20,000.
Rankin back in action and with a real hand this time. A couple of real hands waking up behind him as well. King Queen offsuit for David. If he knows how loose Rankin has been over the course of this final table, he's certainly going to want to play this King Queen. He will as a call. Milan, ace-10 suited, and Armon with a pair behind as well. Everyone picking up something. Now, Milan off 22 bigs, might even elect to just go ahead and put the jam in here. He's got 220k in his stack. There's 65 in the middle. He's going to effectively jam. Leaves a little bit behind just in case things go absolutely ballistic.
Yeah. Four folds. 5 folds.
Rankin is going to go ahead and make the raise. Milan is in trouble here.
3.5
Going to have to catch an ace or some diamonds to stay alive in this thing. Otherwise, we are going to be on the bubble. Wow, and he is going to find not just an ace, but 2 of them. 6 on the turn will seal the deal for the queens. And that's a huge double. Unfortunate for Rankin there for his queens to be cracked.
223.
That is going to actually drop him down to the shorter stack. Brutal spot for this to happen when we're 2 off the money. Opportunity for him to put himself basically tied for second in chips, but instead he is going to lose the 70-30 and he will be our shorter stack. Still 2 away from the money.
No way.
Last box. I don't think last box. You did be close. What was that? 36%. You had 6s, I had 9. If you did that one time, doesn't go on my fast.
Just flat, man.
Pull the shit out of you. Yeah, well done. Oh my god, that was the best hand ever.
Well, it's ace,
Ace 6, turn 6.
and these aces and queens, which
Well done, man. Congratulations. Thank you for calling.
I mean, I
Ace
like how
5
you
suited now for David.
He would have flooded, I would have just flooded, yeah.
Oh, see the ace 5 suited get mucked. Milan's now picked up 7s, and it's Armon's turn to pick up the pocket queens.
Yeah.
3 raises 65,000. 4 folds. 5 folds. 6 folds. 65 to go.
Milan contemplating whether he can make the call here. Wow, he's going to make a tight fold, giving up the 7s.
20, call.
Discipline. Amon will take that pot down.
260, call. Queens, ace 10. Ace.
ace window.
Too easy, man.
Big one.
Oh, you just sit there. Oh my god, Edgar, you're actually you're actually one of the best players I've ever seen.
5 raises 20,000.
Edgar, you're just too good, man.
That's the Queen Jack suited coming up on the stream for the players to see now. Amon seeing he got blown off the top there.
Well done, Chris.
They're a big one. Big.
Ace 10 under the gun for Milan.
Raises 20,000. Four raises 55,000.
Dean wielding that stack once again to put the pressure back on. Over to Milan. Ace 10 in the muck. Dean will pick up another one. Ever so close to the 1 million chip mark. And very close to bagging up for the evening. Sure, Dean would love to put 7 figures in the bag and pick up one more pot.
Got top pair.
Isn't it? I think everyone was, to be honest.
I was like, oh, he's gonna bet like 80k here. I'm just nothing more. Boom.
Boom, all of it.
Like this.
2x spot.
What are your comments there, Garth? Any comments?
Huh?
Any comments on the hand?
I wasn't
thinking
trying to
like
get
you.
him to put a king. I thought I was trying to get you off to like a middle
The
pair.
middle pair, like
Stand
9s or
there,
something.
Mental bet. He check calls on the flop, leads 10.
5 raises
Egger leads 10.
20,000.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this actual.
6 ounces small.
Ace 8 suited for Dale. Going to open it up. Rankin finds the jam with the 10s.
Check call flop.
This would be a bit too much for Dale to call, I think. So this one gets through.
Because I knew.
Look at my face. I'm like,
You would have slept. Yeah, what's.
Is it funky?
Yeah. It's CVJ.
To the stream.
That's a blended meat. Blended.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
what Chris is really representing.
What it says is Edgar doesn't care about the 6.5k.
6 raises 20,000.
Absolutely launched.
Rankin going to loosen it up a little bit just before we wrap up for the evening, up to 20k. Ace 9 from David going to hit the muck, over to Milan. Ace 10 suited.
2 calls 20,000.
I'm just going to play this one as a call. Take the hand post. Well, arm on, sorry, out of the way.
2 checks. Bets 25,000.
Pretty good flop here for Milan. Is still out ahead with the ace 10, and he has picked up the top end of that open-ended straight draw. 25k C bet. Rankin loves these continuation bets.
2 calls 25.
It's not going to work out for him just here. He's drawing very thin to actually win the hand at showdown. King of Hearts might be a card that makes it easier for Rankin to get a bluff through, but hasn't shown a propensity to be super aggressive with these turn double barrels. Looks like he's going to change that trend now.
6 bets 45,000.
Bet of 45k. I don't think this is going to be enough to get Milan to lay down an ace high with that open ender.
No, what? We just saw it on the screen.
2 calls 45.
6 on the river. Gin card for Milan. If he can check it once more, Rankin might take the bait here. Pot size bet behind,
Straight.
but he will not. He'll snap check it back, give up. And Milan will quickly turn over the straight. Big pickup, up to over 500,000 chips now. Looks like we have an open here from David with the Queen Jack. Give those graphics a moment to catch up with us.
3 calls, 20,000. 1 race.
Yeah.
3 calls. 1 race. Yeah. And 3 and 4 called the 20.
Milana also with the Queen Jack. Gave it some thought, but elected to fold. Armon makes the call with the 8s. And looks like Dean's going to complete getting a good price with the 10-7 off in the big blind. No connection for anyone. 8s are out in front. Pretty clean flop for 8s as well. That turn is going to look really bad. Armon will not be thrilled about it. However, he is still in the lead. David picks up a gut shot here after being checked through twice
One that's 35,000.
by both players. He's going to go ahead, take the initiative and fire a bet and gets the best hand to fold. Also gets Dean out of the way and he's going to pick up a nice little pop bet. Well-timed aggression there on the turn. Ace Queen suited for Rankin here. 20 bigs to start the hand. He's just going to go ahead and open jam. Now, we saw this play a little bit earlier. We saw Milan folded an Ace Jack to a similar jam.
There's all.
Doesn't look like anyone's picked up anything that they can contest with. Around to Dale in the big blind. Oh, and he can contest with this. Pocket Queens. Rankin got it in with the Queens against Milan's Ace 10 suited earlier. And it's now his turn to catch an ace for his tournament life. Can he do it? Flop is clean. There is a gut shot present. Oh, and the gut shot will come in.
Queens never win.
Yeah.
Dale's turn to take a bad beat here, and that's going to leave him very short.
All in pre-flop 9 in a row. The underdog.
15.
Now, ladies and gents, that is going to be the end of our broadcast this evening. We're just going to count out these chips. But we are going to wrap this thing up, bag the chips, and we will be heading back for a midday start. Ladies and gents, I appreciate you all tuning in for this evening. It's been an absolute blast. 7 players remaining. 5 in the money, 32-4 up top. See you all tomorrow at lunchtime. Can't wait.
I know you probably got 8-10. I got 8 high as well. Yeah.